Alright, so it's been a minute since I made one of these videos. We just celebrated the 250th anniversary of America, and I was outside picking up some fireworks, and I was like, I seen a, I seen a, this, about 3 months ago, I cleaned out my truck, and I left the mat out. I left the mat out for some reason. One of the mats on the passenger side door. I figured maybe I don't need it. I don't ever use it. Nobody's ever over there, right? So I left it out, and it's been sitting in my yard for 3 freaking months. I ain't gonna lie. And today I finally picked it up and put it back in my truck. I mean, and I suddenly had this epiphany, because I've been doing the same shit every day. I said, we just celebrated 250 years of doing the same shit as Americans. Now you could be proud of that, right? But why not switch it up? Pick up that fucking mat that's been laying there for 3 months. This, of course, it's a metaphor if you haven't realized. But and you could take that for what it is, whatever you want to apply that to. And I know people will say, well, it's changed over the past 250 years. But has it really? Has it really? I don't know. I just thought that was a strong epiphany. I've been learning a lot of shit like that lately. I don't know why. Stuff like that. And I couldn't tell you a reason why I left that mat there for 3 months. I could tell you, though, for some reason today, after going through a lot of shit lately, I finally had the strength to just pick that mat. There was something like against it inside me. There was something like I was defiling picking up that damn mat for some reason. I swear I couldn't bring myself to pick up that fucking mat, even though I seen it laying out in the yard plenty of times. Thought to myself, I gotta get that back in my truck. Still didn't do it. I left it out there. Some reason today I decided, let's make a fucking change. Let's pick up that mat. You're right here. It's right there. Pick it up. Put it in your truck. And then like I said, I suddenly had the epiphany of coming on here and saying, well, like I said, America's been doing the same shit for 250 years. Maybe it's time we make a change. I'll give you one more metaphor, I guess, from my life. One more example of lessons, life lessons, whatever you want to call this shit, that I've been learning from my life. I had this old bush, right, in the corner of my yard, and couldn't get it to grow. I didn't try, but it wouldn't grow. It wouldn't grow. It was, it looked half dead. Well, we recently had a big freeze came through and killed everything. And I've had customers. They've been clipping all the dead stuff and taking it all out of there. Removing it all instead of waiting to see if any life came back, any life returned. Well, I didn't do nothing to that old bush because it was already dead in my mind. And a couple days ago, I seen that it's growing back, stronger than ever. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, that's like me. I've been thinking, it's too late. I'm gone. I ain't never coming back. And then, after the worst of the worst, I feel I have the strength to come back. Now, you can laugh at me, you could say what it is, or whatever you want about it, but that fucking plant came back. Alright? So if that plant could go through the worst, whatever, that it went through, when it was already half dead, and still come back, you can too. And you could decide to make a change. Instead of fucking doing the same shit every day, regretting your life, break up the routine. Go do something different. I don't care if it's just walking around the block. Go do something different. I don't mean to preach at you, but I know I was trapped in my fucking head. and here I am cussing. I shouldn't be cussing, but I think it matters. I think for some reason, I learned, I think about these things, and what good would it be if I just kept them to myself, right? So if it could help anybody else, I'm going to say it. Even if I'm shy and embarrassed, awkward, I'm going to try my best to come on here and just be real, be myself, not trying to worry about impressing everybody. Sometimes you can get caught up in trying to, do what everybody else wants, be what everybody else thinks you should be, instead of doing what you want to do, and not caring whether or not people don't like that. It could also go the other way, where people want everybody to do what they do. And I'm not saying everybody has to do what I do. Not everybody has to think like I think, right? I'm not one of these people that force my ideology, or whatever the word is, kind of shook it up right now, on people. I just want to express what I've learned through this crazy life and my mindset, and if it helps somebody, great. I'm not forcing it on you, but if it could help anybody, it's worth talking about it to me. Anyways, I'm going to shut this off before I start rambling on about nonsense. Hope you got something from this. Hope YouTube pushes it out there, because usually it's a hit or a miss. But thanks for watching.